Hello and welcome to the show. Are you tired of chasing customers and clients? Then why not try getting them to start chasing after you instead? Today's episode is a follow up from the previous episodes that we've done, I think the last two or three. And the whole goal of the series has been to introduce people to the different business philosophies of inbound and outbound. So, outbound marketing, outbound sales motions, inbound marketing, inbound business approaches. I'm just trying to approach you guys, especially the newbies, because those people who've been listening from 2020 and who've listened to more than half of the 630 episodes that we have so far are already quite familiar with inbound and outbound. So, in the last episode, we defined outbound marketing, outbound sales, outbound business motions, and we had over 20 minutes worth of examples there. So, if this is your first time of listening to the show, after you're done listening to this inbound, and inbound doesn't seem to rock your boat, it's not something that you want to invest any time or money in, you don't put any effort into it, then skip back, listen to the previous episode about Outbound, and perhaps maybe that is something that is going to jive with your, with your personality or your general outlook on life and on business. So today we're going to look at the definition of inbound, and if you haven't figured it out yet, inbound is just the opposite of outbound. And remember, if you have a problem distinguishing the two, just remember the prefix. That's the in and the out part. It tells you absolutely everything that you need. So, in case you didn't catch it from the question at the beginning of the show, inbound marketing is basically just making yourself and your business so attractive using branding, using content, using marketing, using whatever it is that at your disposal, so that potential customers end up chasing you and you don't have to engage in chasing them with all the channels and tactics that we discussed yesterday, like talking to strangers in the mall, or attending networking meetings, or attending trade shows, or making cold calls, or sending cold emails or messages to people that you don't know on LinkedIn just because you're trying to drum up business. So the former things that we've described is you chasing after potential customers, potential investors, potential stakeholders, potential whatever it is that you need to move the needle in your business. While inbound will be making you and the business look very attractive so that if you're trying to source funding, investors are chasing you. If you're trying to raise revenue, customers end up chasing you. If you're looking for strategic partnerships to move the needle forward in your industry, then potential business partners and other stakeholders start chasing you. Now, the allure of this marketing system is that it makes life look very easy because you're not going to have to spend time, you're not going to have to spend money that is required to chase folks. Because remember, to attend networking sessions, to attend PTA meetings, hoping to meet other parents that you can do business with, to attend trade shows, to start sending messages to folks on LinkedIn, all these take time and all these take money. Well, especially the what's it called? The business expo part, where you have to pay for the booth, pay for your staff to be there, pay for merchandising, things like that. All these things cost time and money. So the allure for people that are drawn to inbound marketing is that they think life is going to be easy here, and you can have your ideal customers chase you and have people beating a path to your door. Is that actually the case? Is this going to solve all of your life's problems? It depends. We can discuss that in future episodes. But for those of you who've been listening from the beginning, I'm sure you already suspect what my own answer is. Now, I'm sure some of you have noticed that whenever I talk about inbound, not just in this episode but previous episodes, I usually associate it with new school forms of business promotion that that have now come of age. That have now come of age. Now that we have the internet and now that we have digital tech, because we can easily use the internet and digital stuff and apps and what have you to pursue strategies that we're trying to get, strategies and activities to get people attracted to us, to get people engaging, trying to get people engaging with us, whether through Instagram or the website or whatever. But bottom line is, for most folks who are going to do inbound, it usually boils down to two things: content and community for most businesses. You're going to be putting out a lot of content over the internet because it's the content that you put out, educational content to educate people, like what I'm doing now, or informative content, like Mr. Macaron, for instance, or is it Mr. Macaroni? If you're not Nigerian, you won't know who he is, but he's a, what will I say, content producer. Well, he puts out lots of, he used to put out lots of funny skits about him being a philanderer or a sugar daddy, as we say in these parts. Okay, yeah, I think sugar daddy is universal. So he'll put out stuff about him being a sugar daddy, chasing young girls all over the place, and his adventures or misadventures. He gained quite a following, and then from there he was able to become a business influencer, and he's currently exploring a career in acting because there are lots of movies that I've seen of him. Okay, well, not lots, I've seen a couple of movies of his on Netflix. So these are sort of things I'm talking about. I'm not saying you should put up videos about you being a sugar daddy or a sugar mommy, but I'm just saying that people who want to use inbound, the idea is to either create educative content like this podcast that I'm putting out, or entertaining content like stuff that Mr. Macron would do, or other business owners find other ways of creating entertaining stuff, like when your favorite business influencer is doing a TikTok challenge or whatever. But bottom line is the same. We're trying to get eyeballs on us and eyeballs on the business. So for most of you, just know before you begin, if you're thinking about inbound because you're tired of attending trade conferences, you don't like attending PTA meetings, you don't like networking at church, you want to try this inbound thing, most likely it's going to boil down to content and community for most of you. Now, when we say content, there's this newfangled idea. It's not new, actually. It's something that is as old as Sodom and Gomorrah, actually. Okay, maybe not Sodom and Gomorrah, but it's something that is very old, and that's called content marketing. So content marketing is where we create and share informative stuff. For example, this podcast that I'm doing right now. So blog posts, articles, videos, social media posts to attract and engage folks and to try and build a large audience. For instance, there's someone I found on Instagram, and her thing basically is talking about the stock market. That's what she does every day. So there's a video today. This is the reason why this stock is attractive. Tomorrow's video might be segments in the stock market that you can invest in. Fast-moving consumer goods, oil companies, this, that. Every single day, there's a new video, and that's all she does, stock market. So that's the idea. People who want to invest get hooked on those videos. They like what she's putting out. When they're ready, they give her a call. They say, Cece, I've been watching you. Okay, no, not Cece. Her name's not Cece. What's the name? Wow, I can't remember. Is it Yemisi? I think it's Yemisi or something. So, Madam Yemisi, what's up? How you doing? I've been watching you. I'm intrigued. I'm ready to pull the trigger, but I know absolutely nothing about investing in fast-moving consumer goods. So, where can I come to your office, or how do we get this started? So that's the idea behind content marketing. Attract the audience. So Yemisi doesn't have to attend PTA meetings and look for creative ways to talk during the PTA meeting to hint that she's into investing and stocks and things like that, so that other parents can get to do business with her. She just puts out stuff on content marketing. Yeah, what did I say? Okay, sorry, forgive me. I just got lost in my thoughts there. I thought I said something that didn't make sense. And I'm sure you guys get the picture. Content marketing. People think it's new, but actually it's not new. It's been going on for a very long time. There's a company in the agricultural space. I think they're called John Deere. I think it's John Deere International. That's DEER, I think. And they make tractors basically. So they're big in the UK and America. I think the company is, gosh, how old is it? I think the company is close to 450 years old. So back in the day, what they did was they had a magazine that they would send out to their biggest customers with informative articles, and then stuff showing the latest lines that are coming up of tractors, or of this irrigation, this or threshing, this or sorting, this, or pruning, this and that, those sorts of things. So this company, over 450 years old, they've been doing it well before Google was a thing, well before Facebook was a thing, well before Instagram was a thing. Now the thing was, Because the business landscape changed and people are doing digital, they thought it would be a good idea to kill the magazine. So in their own case, this is one business case study that is famous, well, in some circles, at least in business circles anyway, because they killed the magazine and people are like, hey, look, why'd you kill the magazine? Look, we love this thing, bring it back. And so the magazine is back. Well, at least as of 3 or 4 years ago, when I came across them, the magazine was back. I don't know if they've killed it again. But it just goes to show you that even though this is something that people are doing a lot using the internet and social media and stuff like that, it doesn't have to be internet and social media. You can have a physical magazine like John Deere has and have so for hundreds of years, and that also is content marketing. So that's the point that I made at the top of the show, where I was saying that I usually say it's new school, but it's not exclusively new school because people have been doing it for a very long time, at least 300-400 years. Then there's search engine optimization. That's also a part of inbound. And the idea behind search engine optimization is it's supposed to work on your website content. And the aim is to appear in search engine results. So you also want to appear sexy, not just to people who are checking out your website, but sexy to Google so that Google serves up your website for people who are searching. And that's the whole idea behind search engine optimization. Make the website pretty to normal human beings. Make the website pretty to Google. There's a technical aspect to this. There's a technical aspect to SEO. Some people say it's important. Some people say it's not important. I'm not an SEO specialist, so I'm not going to talk much about that. But just know that that's also something that is a lever that you can turn on, that you can crank when it comes to inbound marketing. So search engine optimization. That's basically looking at the website. You're trying to make sure that you increase your traffic and that visibility, easy for people to find you. Then social media engagement is also a critical part of inbound marketing, because what does it profit a man? What does it profit a woman if you get 1,000 eyeballs on your Instagram handle and people reach out, but then you do absolutely nothing to engage with them? You don't respond to their comments. You don't like the things that people say. When people send you DMs, you don't respond. So it profits you absolutely nothing. If you spend all this time in search engine optimization, in content marketing, and then people are running to your Instagram handle, chasing you on LinkedIn, people are following you absolutely everywhere, and then you just ignore them, it profiteth you absolutely nothing. So social media engagement is a key thing. So we use the social media platforms not just to build audiences. Building is one thing, but we also have to connect with these audiences. So it's not just putting out the content, but building relationships. So key thing here is we have to be engaging with the users. That is how you build the brand, you foster trust, and you generate leads. Because it's by engaging that people have a conversation with you and you're able to, what's that expression? I think they say take offline. I think I've seen some people say that. You say, oh, blah, 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 blah. Can I have your phone number? Let's take this offline. Yeah, I think it's take offline. Then you'll be able to take it offline, and then you're having a phone call with the person, and then the next thing the person is ordering 4 cartons of shrimp from your seafood business. So that's how it happens. It's not just building these assets, but social media engagement. We have to engage with people as well. Then part of the language that you're going to be talking about when you are focusing on inbound is this whole thing around lead generation and conversion. A lead basically is someone who has put up their hands, someone who has done something to show that they're interested in your product or your service. So we're trying to get people to show their hand, basically. So back to the Instagram person who sells shrimp or seafood. Okay, yeah, so you put out, let's say this week you decide you're going to put out content on shrimps. So today is 7 reasons why shrimp is good for your sex drive. And then tomorrow will be 8 reasons why shrimp is good for your immune system. And then the next day you put out 7 ideas for soups that you can cook with shrimps. And then the next day after that, you put up another video of how you can use waste products from shrimp to feed your chickens or, whatever. Basically, you come up with this whole thing of Shrimp Week. And every single day is a video, a fact sheet, a reel, a something about shrimp. Now, the whole idea is this: if somebody engages with any of this stuff, they might be curious, but the more you have conversations with them, things like that, you'll be able to see that somebody who has, let's say at the end of the week, you put up 50 videos, and this particular person liked 20 of the videos, and then the person sends you a message saying, "Oh, madam, how much does a carton of shrimp cost?" That person is a lead because the person has done a bunch of stuff to show that he might be interested in your product or your service. He's liked a bunch of your videos and he has sent you a message to say, madam, I admire what you do. May God bless your hustle. How much is the content? How much is a carton of shrimp?" So that person is a lead. So, because he has showed his hand. Now, conversion is is the craft of taking this lead. The person has been liking and has been sending me DMs. How do I take this person and convert them, as the thing says, convert them into a paying customer? So, if you're doing inbound, that is also part of what you're going to be spending a whole bunch of your time on. How do I generate leads? How do I get people to tip their hand to show that they're interested? And for the people that tip their hand, how many am I going to engage in conversation? For the people that are engaged in conversation, how many of them can I convert into paying customers? So we're going to be spending a lot of time on that. And of course, all the stuff that you put out over on the internet, all the content that you're putting out, if you use a community building strategy, you have a Facebook group, you're trying to get people onto your Facebook group. I think right now WhatsApp groups are big. In doing all of that, you're going to be looking at personalization and targeting. So you want your marketing messages to really resound with a particular audience. Back to the lady who does shrimp things on Instagram. I don't eat seafood. So shrimp week, I have absolutely nothing to do with shrimp week. In fact, if after a while I'm like, Kai, this woman, I've been following her for 4 months, and every single day, fish, octopus, squid, shrimp. This woman is making me nauseous. Unfollow. Some of you might think that is bad, but actually, the unfollow is good because there's no way that I was ever going to buy shrimp. I do not like seafood. I don't eat fish. I don't eat shrimp. I don't eat octopus. I don't eat scallops. I don't eat, whatever. I eat snail, and some people say snail is seafood, but I still am going to argue it till the day of my death. Snail is not seafood. Snail is a land animal, so please stop calling snail seafood. My wife insists that snail is seafood, and I've come across a bunch of people who say snail is seafood, but I don't know what school you guys went to. Snail is not seafood, so I will not eat shrimps, and I will eat snail. I still don't eat seafood. Where was I? Okay, yes. So personalization and targeting. So it has to be relevant to the people. Some people like me are going to unfollow, unsubscribe, delete, block, whatever. It's a good thing. The person who remains, like my wife, who loves seafood, on the other hand, that's a different thing. It's targeted to her. It's personalized to her. Last week, we got some money. She went out with my boys. They went to go and buy a bunch of stuff. Ugly looking shrimps that look gray. I don't know why shrimps should look gray and black, because black stuff, as far as I'm concerned, that is rotten food. Why do you people keep eating black shrimps? Shrimps are supposed to be pink or reddish. Anyway, so they went to go and buy a bunch of stuff, and how my boys, they're happy about fisherman soup. This weekend, fisherman soup, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then they spend half the time eating. Have you seen people eat crabs? Because crabs just look like they're full of nothing but bone, no meat. But then my wife and the boys, they're cracking into this thing and they're having fun. And I really don't understand. Anyway, off on a tangent. But bottom line, personalization and targeting, it has to be relevant to them. So if you're the seafood woman, some people like me will leave. That's absolutely good. Some people like my wife will stay. Not only stay, they will like, they will key in, they will send you DMs. That's what you're looking for at the end of the day. So the focus for inbound business development, inbound marketing, inbound business philosophy, inbound way of life, inbound whatever it is that you want to call it, is focusing on attracting people. Let me educate them, let me entertain them, let them come to my doorstep, let them come to the website. When they come to the doorstep, to the website, to wherever it is that they find me, how am I going to engage with them? How am I going to delight with them? How am I going to use content and communities to build up these sorts of experiences? So the aim at the end of the day is these people who have now been educated and who have now been entertained, these audiences are going to end up doing business with us. And so that is the hope. Whether that is the case, we'll discuss some more in future episodes. But just to give you a hint, when it comes to business development, sales, marketing, lots of stuff is contextual. So anybody who comes to you with all these yes, no answers, inbound is the perfect way to go. Don't listen to that person. He's just trying to sell you something. Outbound is the way to go. Don't listen to that person. She's only trying to sell you something. Whether inbound or outbound, contextual. It's like the whole thing of using the phone. I say the phone is the most important weapon that you can use to develop your business. So I tell as many people as possible, use the phone. But there are some people where, look, with your industry, with what you're trying to achieve, actually the phone might not help you that much. So continue with this email thing that you're doing, or continue with this WhatsApp thing that you're doing, or this SMS thing that you're doing. So it depends. So which is better, inbound business philosophies or an outbound way of life? Those are things that we are going to explore in future episodes. So, if you followed so far, you understand what inbound is, you understand what outbound is, you can't get a sense of what it is that you like, or you can't get a sense of what you're already doing in your business, then connect with me on LinkedIn. Let's see how we can help you sort that out. The reason why that's important, sometimes it's easier to start, or rather, it's easier to dig in with what you're doing naturally already. There are some of you who, even though you don't have business education in these sorts of things, from day one, you've already been doing inbound. You just didn't know it was called inbound. Or your mom, your sister, your dad, somebody put you on this inbound game, and that's what you've been doing from day one, and it works. So the way that I prefer to do my own coaching and consulting services is I'm not going to take somebody who is already doing inbound effectively and trying to push you to the outbound spectrum. If you're already doing inbound already seems to be working. Let's see how we can dig in on that, and let's see how we can ramp it up. The same thing with folks like me who started off outbound. Not because anybody taught me. Maybe it's because of my legal background, because my first degree was in law. I just assumed that that's how you get into business. You're ready to get into business. You just go out and start talking to people. So when I entered into the wedding photography space, that's just what I did. I was able to get 2 weddings. Were paid for. My first wedding was 50k. That's how much I charged, 50,000 naira. That's a story for another day. Interesting adventure. I charged 50,000 naira and ended up spending 52 or 53 to execute the whole thing. But like I said, that's just for another day. So 2 weddings, and then I shot 8 for free. I put that into my portfolio, and then I started talking with people. I made 3 copies. I gave one to a friend of mine, Alexia, who is a makeup artist. Gave one to her, Victoria Island. I can't remember who I gave the second book to. And so I started off with Outbound. So, where was I? Okay, I was about to wrap up the show. Forgive me. Yes, so we'll discuss which is better in future episodes. If you don't have a sense of what it is that you're doing, then connect with me. Let's see how we can help you sort that out. After I'm done with this recording, I'm going to be heading into town because I'm meeting with the ladies of Brunch and Bond, the ladies business networking group in Abuja. We're going to be having a session on building a bridge. Building a bridge to better sales. Basically, just growing your business through more focused sales actions. So it'll be me and another coach who will be speaking. I'm going to make a podcast episode when we're done with that, exploring some of the ideas that we spoke about at the brunch, or rather that we will speak about since it's happening in about 2 hours at the Brunch and Bond session. I also will be making a podcast episode introducing you to the work of my who's going to be my co-host for the day, Coach Ojugo. I know I'm not pronouncing the name right, so Igbo people, please forgive me. She has had to correct me loads of times that her name is spelled Ojiu. So I keep saying Ojugo, but I think it's Ojiugo, I think. So Coach Ojiugo will be sharing some of the material over here on the podcast. And for those of you who are female listeners listening to the show, you haven't paid for the session, that's okay. You'll get to hear what we talk about. But as we discuss some of the issues, the more over here on the podcast, I hope this gives you a sense of why having a female networking professional business, whatever group, is worth it, because these are going to be other business owners, other self-employed people, other entrepreneurs who are trying to do their thing and facing common challenges that are unique to the female experience. So it helps if you have people that you can sit down with, brainstorm with, build alliances with, and help. What's that word? Troubleshoot each other's problems and grow collectively as a group and also grow as an individual. So that's all for today. Remember, you can always subscribe to the show for free, so you don't have to wait until you see this link over on the interwebs. The name of the show is Sales for the Nigerian Business Person Podcast. It's confirmed and available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple iTunes, Pocket Cast, Overcast, or any podcast player of your choice. Remember to connect with me on LinkedIn. The name is Tabishima Ayede. You don't know the spelling, just check the podcast profile player, whatever podcasting app that you're using. My photo is there, my email address is there, correct spelling of my name is there. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next episode where we will be talking about which is better, inbound or outbound. And after that, we'll go straight into the wonderful time that we had with the ladies at Brunch and Bond in Abuja. As soon as they open up a Lagos branch or a Port Harcourt branch or whatever branch, I'll be sure to let you guys know over here on the podcast, so those of you listening from other parts of the country can join in as well. So thanks for your time and attention. Catch you guys at the next episode.